Okay. So as I was saying, it also appears in the definition of the derivative. In the calculus of one variable, it is the limiting value of the slope of secant lines to the graph of a function. So this is one of the definitions of the limits, the slope of secant lines to the graph of the functions. But we have more definitions. So at the end of this module, you should be able to define the limit of a function, evaluate limits of a function using the limit properties, recognize and evaluate indeterminate form of type 0 over 0, and find one-sided limits of a function. So these are our objectives after the module. So we go now to the discussion now proper. The concept of limit is fundamental in the study of calculus, and it is extremely important for us to obtain a good working knowledge of limits before progressing our study of calculus. Now, what do we mean by limit? The term limit. In everyday language, we refer to speed limit. These are examples of limits or limitations now. Speed limit. Okay. For example, in in expressways, mayroong specific speed limit na kailangan natin sundan. A boxer's weight limit. In boxing naman, we have this weight divisions tinatawag. Weight divisions, we have, for example, welterweight, flyweight, heavyweight, and others. The memory capacity of hard drive or disk. Ito yung limit na sinusundan din natin. For example, in CS students, alam nyo itong hard drive or hard disk. These terms all suggest that a limit is a type of bound, which on some cases may not be reached, but on other cases may be reached or even extended. So, yung speed limit natin, yung speed limit natin, paano ba yun? Once you reach that speed limit, magkakaroon tayo ng violation. And of course, kapag we exceeded that speed limit, mas mataas yung violation natin. Or mas mataas yung chance na mahuli tayo. And for boxing weight naman, if you exceeded a specific weight bracket, ibig sabihin tataas din yung weight division mo. Okay? And yung memory capacity, of course, it cannot be exceeded anymore since yun lang yung limit natin. Once you meet or reached that specific memory dun sa hard drive or hard disk, you can no longer save more data. So mathematically, suppose we wanted to find the limit of a function. This time we'll be defining the limit in mathematics naman. So we have the given function f of x is equal to 2x squared plus x minus 3 over x minus 1. As x approaches 1. Okay, as x approaches 1. Ito yung gusto nating malaman, no? We are looking for the limit of this function as the x variable or this x value is approaching 1. Okay, anong ibig sabihin nun? Note that we are not interested in determining the value of f sub 1. No, you don't have to evaluate the given function at x is equal to 1 because f is not defined as x is equal to 1. Tignan nyo. 1 minus 1 is 0 and division by 0 is undefined. Pero hindi tignan natin. We are looking for a certain value where the f of x is trying to approach while x is approaching 1. However, we take note of the following tables. We have this table of values na. Please observe this table of values. We have this two sides. Two sides na tinitignan natin. As x approaches 1 from the left, so these are the negative values na. And the other one is x approaches 1 from the right, and these are the positive values. These are the table. Input ko lang yung ano. Input ko lang siya. Ating given. Hindi na naman yung calculate ko na. So we have 2x squared plus x minus 3 so divided by x minus 1. Yung x hindi ko na nilalagay na since we'll be using specific values. 2x squared plus x minus 3 divided by x minus 1. I'll be just using some example, some values here. So if x is 0, our f of x is 3. If x is 2.5, tignan yung mga values dito. These values are the values of x that is approaching 1. No, at least mga positive value na less than 1. 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 0.9, 0.99, 0.999 ay na-approach neto yung 1. Okay. And yung f of x natin, very obvious naman na ina-approach niya is 5. Right. As x approaches 1 from the left, f of x is approaching 5. Verify tayo ng isang value na 0. Let's say 99. So if x is 0.99, parang ka nag-evaluate ng function dito. 0.99. Our f of x or our y is 4.98. So okay tayo doon. Natignan natin yung from the right. From the right, ganun din. From the right, these are greater than 1 na. We have 2, 1.25, 1.5, 1.25. Ganun din. It is approaching 1. And our f of x is the same, approaching 5. Verify natin. Let's pick any value. Let's say 1.01. 01. This is 1.01. 1.0. 5.0. So that is the concept of limit of a function. From the table, it seems reasonable to guess that as x approaches 1, the limit of f of x is 5. Even though f of x is undefined at x is equal to 1, it appears from the table so that the values of f of x get closer and closer to 5 by making the values of x sufficiently close to 1. So that is the definition. Pero technically, this is the definition of the function. Limit of a function. A function f assigns an output f of x to every input x. We say the function has a limit L at an input A. This means f of x gets closer and closer to L as x moves closer and closer to A. Or in symbol, we write, take note of the symbol now. This is being read as the limit of f of x as x approaches A is equal to L. I repeat, the limit of f of x as x approaches A is equal to L. Now, let's be familiar with the variables used now. F of x, of course, is the given function. A here na it is the input. Yung dito kanina, these are the input, the x values. And the limit, na, yung limit natin, ito yung ina-approach. Okay. Yung kanina, ang limit, ang ina-approach ng x natin is 1. Ina-approach ng x is 1. And yung ina-approach ng f of x natin is the limit, which is 5. Yeah. Okay, before we go to properties, if the limit of a function exists, then it is unique. It is not always true that the limit is a number that values of function get closer but can never be reached. Many times, the limit of a function f of x as x approaches a is simply f of a. Now, if we evaluate the given function at our input and undefine yung lumabas, we may find other way now to get the function or to get the limit. Pero most often daw, you can find the limit by evaluating the given function at specific input A. Okay. Now, we go to the properties of limit. Properties of limit. Let me show you the graph pala. Let me show you the graph and observe natin. Let me copy this. Yung Microsoft calculator na lang naman. Bagal kasi mag-load si Microsoft Path. Okay. So this is the graph. As x approaches 1, hanapin natin yung x approaches 1. Nasaan si 1? Ayun, this is 1. So, hanapin natin kung saan mag-intersect. This 1. Okay. Ito yung 1. Pansinin natin, no? If we get closer and closer to 1, as x gets closer and closer to 1, y gets closer and closer to 5. This is from the left side. I repeat, if we get closer and closer to 1, our y gets closer and closer to 5. At least this is from the left. From the right naman, ganun din. If we get closer and closer to 1, if x, I mean, y gets closer and closer to 5. So, yun yung ibig sabihin na limit. Okay, we go to the properties. Human operations. Let a and c be real numbers and n be positive integer. Then, the limit of a constant is defined as the limit of c as x approaches a is c. Always to, since constant lang naman yung given, whatever the input will be equivalent to the same constant. So, if given is a constant, for example, yung calculator, ganun. Maglagay tayo ng constant. Now, let me delete this one. F of x or y is equal to any constant. Let's say, gamit tayo ng fraction 5 over 2. Ayan. And then, gawa tayo ng input. Ano yung gusto nating input? Any value, let's say 0. As x approaches 0, y is constant. No? Kahit na magbago yung value ng x, hindi nagbabago yung value ni y. So always yon, the limit of a constant as x approaches any value is the constant itself. That is the first property. Second property, the limit of x is defined as the limit of x as x approaches a is equal to a. Now, limit of x as x approaches a is equivalent to a. Kapag x variable lang yung given, and whatever your input here will be the value that x is trying to approach then. Next, limit of power of x is defined as limit of x raised to n as x approaches a is equivalent to a raised to n. So basic pa lang naman to kasi variable x pa lang yung pinag-uusapan natin. So proceed tayo. The limit of root x is defined as limitation of nth root of x as x approaches a is equivalent to nth root of a. So parang ini-evaluate lang natin yung given function at a. Provided that we have this condition, a is greater than 0 when n is even. So we have this condition na a is greater than 0 when n is even. Kasi ang even root of negative numbers does not exist. So those are the properties. Later na lang tayo magbigay ng example. Now, using the theorem 3.1, limits for a wide variety of algebraic functions such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponentiation, and involution of functions. Sana. And you can also operate limits involving limits. Let a and c be real numbers and n be positive integers. If f of x, if the limit of f of x as x approaches a, and the limit of g of x as x approaches a both exist, then the following operations are valid. So continuation, limit number 4, limit of quotient. Now, if we were to get the limit of f of x over g of x as x approaches a, what we need to do is to get the limit of our numerator and then divide this by the limit of our denominator. This is true for if our g of x is not equal to 0 kasi magiging undefined siya. Limit of powers. If we have the given function f of x raised to a certain exponent n, what we need to do is to get the limit first. Okay, nung base natin, yung base function natin which is f of x. And then the limit will be raised to a specific n later on. Okay. Limit of root of functions. Okay, ganun din. Get first the limit of our radicand, and whatever the limit will be extracted at nth root. Okay, may condition ulit. Same condition dun sa kanina. Now, may example na tayo. Operations. Other than the division, let a and c be real numbers and n be positive. Both exist. Ito. We have these operations with limits. Limit of a constant and function f. So if we have the constant, certain value, and then multiplied by a specific function f of x, the limit is equivalent to get first the limit of the function and then multiply it later to the given constant. At ganun din, limit of sum and difference. Paghiwalay nyo lang yung limit nila and then add or subtract. Limit of product, same. Same, no? Get first the limit of the two functions and then later on, the values will be multiplied. Ay, meron pa. Ito. This is the pinaka-easiest way of getting the limit. The limit of polynomial function, if p of x is a polynomial function and a is an element of real number, then the limit of p of x as x approaches a is equivalent to p of a. All we have to do is to evaluate the given function at our input a. Yun na yung gusto sabihin yan. And this will, and all the properties which is presented a while ago will be applied once we use this theorem. The replacement theorem. Okay. Let a an element of real number such that f of x is equal to g of x for all x is not equal to a. If the limit exists, then the limit of f of x also exists. And the limit, wait lang, ulitin natin. Let a be an element of real numbers such that f of x is equal to g of x. F of x is equal to g of x. No? For all x not equal to a, if the limit of g of x exists as x approaches a, then the limit of f of x as x approaches a also exists, and the limit of f of x as x approaches a is equivalent to the limit of g of x as x approaches a. Ito lang, we're trying to prove the existence of the limit. Now, and actually, we have to consider both sides from the left and from the right in here. Kasi we don't have to use the input A. Ito yung condition natin, no? For all, not x not equal to A. So we'll try to get or to observe kung may limit ba from the left or from the right. And then ipoprove natin na existing yung limit. Let's have examples. And then we'll be applying those theorems. Itong mga theorem na to. Okay. 3.1. To evaluate limit of 3 as x approaches 2, we simply apply the theorem 3.1 first property, the limit of a constant. Ito yung gusto kong sabihin kanina. The limit of 3 as x approaches 2 is 3. The limit of any constant as x approaches any value will be the constant itself. So basic lang kapag constant yung given. Okay. Example 3.2. And here we'll be applying different properties na sum and difference property. And then you'll limit of function x, and then limit of power, and then what if we have constant? So ito yung i-apply natin yung mga yun na by theorem 3.3, or we'll just to apply the substitution, no, yung 3.3 natin. Click lang natin. This is the 3.3. Evaluate lang natin yung given function at a. So, yeah. By theorem 3.3, the limit of 2x squared minus 5x plus 3 as x approaches 2 is equivalent to 2 times 2 raised to 2 minus 5 times 2 plus 3. 8 minus 10 plus 3 is equal to 1. So if this function, let's verify this using our graphing tool para malinaw lang. Okay, let me delete this one. Ayan. We have this parabola. Ano yung na-approach ng x natin? We have 2 na. We have 2. Hanapin natin. So, yun. This is our 2. And the function is trying to approach 1. No? From the left tayo, as x approaches 2, our y approaches 1. From the right naman, if x approaches 2, y is approaching 1. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng function natin. Example number 3. Evaluate the limit of x squared plus 2x over 2x plus 3 as x approaches 3. By theorem 3.2, number 4, this is the quotient, no? Quotient, limit of quotient, where we have to get the limit of our numerator first and then divide this by the limit of our denominator. So, dalawa. Actually, dalawa yung theorem na gagamitin natin dito na the limit of the quotient and then yung theorem 3.3 ulit natin, substitution or evaluating the function at a. So, ayan. Ito yung numerator natin, the limit of our numerator divided by the limit of our denominator as x approaches 3. So, by theorem 3.3 ulit, we have 3 squared plus 2 times 3 over 2 times 3 plus 3. So we have 9 plus 6 over 6 plus 3. We have 15 over 9. Lowest term is 5 over 3. Verify natin using our, or by graphing the given function. Okay, so here is the graph. Hanapin natin, ano yung na-approach kasi? We are trying to approach 3. Where is 3? Where is 3? Yun. So from the left tayo, as x approaching 3, our y is approaching 1.66. 1.66. Kasi, ang 5 over 3 natin is approximately 1.66. Now, 5 over 3 is 1.66. This is from the left. Ito yung from the right natin. As x approaches 3 from the right naman, our y is approaching 1.66 din. So, tama yung limit natin. Hey, next. Yan. This time, radical naman, no? We have this radical. Evaluate the limit. Cube root of 2x squared plus x plus 5 over 3x squared plus 19 x plus 5. Ang mga theorems na gagamitin natin as yung quotient, yung sa radical natin. We have this rational kasi. So, you'll apply the limit of the quotient and then limit of radical. Kasi involved na yung extraction. So, separating the limit of our numerator and denominator, we have this. So, limit of 2x squared plus x plus 5 as x approaches 1 over the limit of 3x squared plus 19x plus 5 as x approaches 1. And then by theorem 3.3, evaluating the given functions at x is equal to 1, we have this line. Now, 2 times 1 squared plus 1 plus 5 over 3 times 1 squared plus 19 plus times 1 plus 5. And then simplifying, we have 8 over 27. 8 over 27. And extracting the cube root of 8 over 27. 8 is a perfect cube. 27 is a perfect cube. So, ang root nila is 2 over 3 or 2/3. Nakakasunod ba lahat? Hello, any response? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take note that this is a fundamental of calculus. So So, dapat ma-master natin tong limit before we proceed to the
Sir,
differential calculus.
pwede po magtanong.
Yes, of course. You can always ask questions.
Kahit anong value nung x, sir, pwede ilagay?
Yeah, depende sa given,
Simple
no? Depende. Pero kung papalitan mo yung input natin, magbabago din yung limit mo. Okay?
Okay, sir.
If we...
Basta sa substitute lang lahat, no, sir?
Yes. Ulitin ko, no? If we... Kung papalitan natin yung input natin, let's say 4, magbabago ngayon yung limit ng function natin. Kasi iba nang ina-approach ng x, no? So, iba na rin yung ina-approach ng given function.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Third, thank you then for the question.
Input pala yung x.
Yeah. Example 3.5. Ito, ibang case na to. Because it's not the typical case na ginagawa natin from examples 1 to 4. The limit of 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 over 3 minus x as x approaches 3. So dito, if we try to use the theorem 3.3, no? If we evaluate the given function as x is equal to 3, this will give us 0 over 0. Okay? 0 over 0. Oh, we first note that if we substitute x is equal to the given expression directly, we would get 0 over 0. Although, sabi nga natin, division by 0 is not existing. Division by 0 is not existing. Pero our numerator is also 0. Is also 0. If this is the case, meron tayong specific term for this. The expression 0 over 0 is not a number. It is called an indeterminate form. Indeterminate form. Tawag natin kay 0 over 0. But if you have an expression na any number sa numerator divided by 0, hindi na yung indeterminate na. Indeterminate lang siya if we have this expression. Our numerator is 0 and our denominator is also 0. Indeterminate form. This means we cannot infer anything about the limit of the function if we obtain this expression. Thus, direct substitution cannot be applied to evaluate the limit. We observe that when x is not equal to 3, okay, we have techniques. If direct substitution will give us an indeterminate form, maghahanap tayo ng ibang paraan para makita yung limit. And that one technique is the factoring technique. Take note, our numerator is factorable. Our numerator is a quadratic equation, and this can be factored. 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So by factoring, kunin muna natin, no, we are trying to simplify first our given function. And then later na natin kukunin yung limit. We are to simplify first the given function before getting the limit as x approaches 3. So doing that will give us Ay. 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Its factors are 2x plus 1. Mabagal na yung laptop ko. 2x plus 1. X minus 3. 2x plus 1, x minus 3. Okay, but take note, x minus 3 and 3 minus x are different, no? Kaya kailangan muna nating i-factor out yung negative para maging pareho yung factor natin x minus 3 and over x minus 3. Kaya meron tayong negative dito. It came from factoring out the negative sign para maging positive yung x from here and then maging negative yung 3. In such way, we can now observe a common factor between our numerator and denominator. So may iwan si 2x plus 1 and then we have the negative sign sa baba. So we'll be considering that sign no negative. So we have negative 2x plus 1. Distributing this negative, we have now negative 2x minus 1. So we have this new function, negative 2x plus 1. And then applying again the theorem, theorem 3.4. Since they were equal, no, this negative 2x minus 1 minus negative 2x minus 1 came from this function. So which means to say they are equal. If this is f of x and this is g of x, they are equal, and whatever the limit, na makikita natin kay negative 2x minus 1 will also be applied to our base functions and given function natin. Okay, yun yung ibig sabihin ng theorem 3.4. Okay? 3.4. Yung binasa ko kanina. Balikan natin. This one, replacement. The replacement theorem. This one. So yun yung example. Ayan. So, evaluate na natin at 3. So we have the limit of negative 2x minus 1 as x approaches 3 is equal to negative 3 minus 1 is equal to negative 7. Verify natin. Let's verify this. Ito to. Yan. Okay. Ito na naman ang problema natin. Hindi kasama si 2 sa may square. Okay. Ay. This is bakit? Ayun pa gawin yung may square. Ayun. So, if approaching 3 ulit, no, natin si 3. Somewhere here. Approach natin si 3 from the left. As x approaches 3, our y is approaching negative, ayan, negative 7. Kulang tayo na isa, 2.97. Then we have negative 6.94. Sa kabila naman, kuha tayo ng isa. Approaching 3 tayo. 3. Very close na yan. 3.04. Ang y natin is negative 7.0. It is our y or our f of x is approaching negative 7. Okay? So take note that indeterminate form yung tawag natin sa 0 over 0. Pero any number divided by 0, undefined na yun. You cannot, we cannot, or I mean, the limit does not exist kapag gano'n na yung case natin. Okay, more example tayo. 3.6. So 4x squared minus 9 over 2x minus 3 as x approaches 3 over 2. Again, if we substitute right away 3 over 2 in place of x, we'll be getting 4. So magiging 3 squared is 9. 2 squared is 4. So we have 9 over 4. Cancel yung 4 doon. 9 minus 9 is 0. Dito rin. 2 over 2 is 1. 3 minus 3 is 0. So we have 0 over 0 will give us indeterminate form ulit. Pero we can still simplify our function by factoring. So 4x squared minus 9, this is difference between two squares na. So ang kanyang factor ay sum and difference between two terms. 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3. And then we have 2x minus 3 sa denominator. So we can observe common factor between our numerator and denominator. Cancel natin yon. Ang may iwan is 2x plus 3. And then whatever limit that we found kay 2x plus 3 will also be applied dun sa ating given function to 4x squared minus 9 over 2x minus 3. So doing that by substitution, you have 3 times 3 over 2 plus 3. Okay, cancel yung 2 over 2 dito. So we have 3 plus 3 there. The limit is 6. The limit is 6. That is just one technique. This is one case. If there's a way to simplify your given function using factoring, then gawin natin yon. If indeterminate form siya. So this is another case. Evaluate 3.7 na tayo, guys. 3.7. Let's evaluate the limit of square root of 2 plus x minus the square root of 2 over x. If we write a way to substitute 0 in place of x, we'll be getting 0 over 0 pa rin. Kasi square root of 2 minus square root of 2 is 0 over 0 will give us indeterminate form. But there's no way we can factor the given function. There's no way na pwede natin i-apply yung factoring. So there's another technique. Another technique yung gagamitin natin dito. What we call the technique as the conjugation. Conjugation. Okay. Ano ba yung conjugation? This is the process. So we'll try to simplify first our given function. Square root of 2 plus x minus square root of 2 over x. And then, ang gagawin natin is we have to multiply the conjugate to both both of numerator and denominator. Ano ba yung conjugate niyan? The conjugate of square root of 2 plus x minus square root of 2 is square root of 2 plus x plus 2. So para lang tayo in-apply natin yung we're trying to apply the sum and difference between two terms. Ito, balikan natin to. This is sum and difference between two terms, 2x minus 3. Ang conjugate ng 2x minus 3 is 2x plus 3. Sum and difference. So same terms pero magkaiba lang yung operation. From minus we have plus. So that is the conjugation, the process of conjugation. Now, whatever expression that is multiplied to our numerator, i-multiply din natin sa denominator. So bali, para lang tayo nag-multiply ng 1. Multiplying any expression by 1, it doesn't affect the equation. So doing that, of course, parang in-square lang natin to. Square nung first term tsaka yung square ng second term. Difference between two squares. Square nung first term, square ng second term. So same index pa rin tayo. Same index and same exponent. So we'll just omit the radical signs. So 2 plus x na natira and then minus 2 there. And then sa ilalim naman, multiply lang natin. Multiply natin. We have x times square root of 2 plus x plus square root of 2. And then from there, wag muna natin i-distribute yung x. Simplify muna natin. Ito. 2 plus x minus 2. Omitting the parentheses will give us 2 minus 2. Okay? 2 minus 2 is 0. So we have x in our numerator and we have x in our denominator. So later on, maka-cancel yung x. Which gives us 1 over square root of 2 plus x plus square root of 2. This is equivalent to our given function, square root of 2x minus square root of 2 over x. And then try natin evaluate ulit at 0 ito. Or looking for the limit of this function as x approaches 0. Theorem 3.4. Ito yung substitution. Gawin natin 0 yung x. We have square root of 2 plus the square root of 2. So 1 over 2 square root of 2. In real number, we're trying to tawag doon. Iniiwasan natin magkaroon ng radical sign sa denominator natin, no? So we have to rationalize. Okay, alam niyo naman kung paano mag-rationalize ng denominator, no? We're trying to cancel or to omit the radical sign in our denominator. So by rationalization, multiplying square root of 2 to both sides of our equation will give us square root of 2. Okay, same. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2 times 2. We have square root of 2 over 4. This is the right solution or the limit. Square root of 2 over 4. Let's verify by graphing this function. I'm not sure kung tatanggalin siya. Yung original function yung gagamitin ko, no? Hindi yung bagong kita natin. Let me delete. Yan, possible naman siya. Hanapin natin. Yun. And we're trying to approach 0. X is equal to 0. Actually, asymptotic siya. So, x is equal to 0. So, hanap tayo ng malaki. Ayan. As... why ito eh? Baliktad tayo. Punta sa kabila. Ayan. As x is approaching 0, from the left side muna tayo. As x approaching 0, y is approaching, tignan natin, 0.35. 0.35. Let's verify, no? Our final solution is the square root of 2 divided by 4. Which is 0.35. 0.35. So, tama yung computation natin. As x approaches 0 to the left or to the right side, y is approaching 0.35. Okay, may galing dito. So, that is the process of conjugation. Take note, mag-rationalize lang tayo no, kapag nasa ilalim yung denominator. So, there were times naman na you don't have to rationalize. Okay, more example tayo for conjugation. Evaluate the limit square root of 3 minus x minus 1 over x minus 2. So x is not equal to 2 since we'll be getting an indeterminate form, 0 over 0. So we have to simplify our given function by conjugation ulit. So doing that, square root of 3 minus x minus 1, multiply natin si square root of 3 minus x plus 1. So naging sum and difference na siya between same two terms. And whatever multiplied to numerator will be multiplied on our denominator. So which give us same index, no? Or square lang natin si 3, square root of 3 minus x. So maka-cancel yung radical natin, radical sign. Then 1 squared is 1. Difference between squares, at least from the given. We have 3 minus x minus 1 over, kunin lang natin yung factor ng numerator dito at saka yung numerator ng, denominator ng given natin, and then yung conjugate ng numerator. So we have x minus 2 times square root of 3 minus x plus 1. And then if you observe, 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay? So negative x plus 2. Magkaiba yung sign. Negative si x dito, positive yung x sa baba. So dapat parehong-pareho yan. Again, we'll be factoring out the negative sign. Yan, galing dito na. We have negative x plus 2. We cannot cancel yung negative x plus 2 tsaka x minus 2 here since they are not yet common. No, magkaiba pa rin sila. So, we factor out the negative sign. Factor out the negative sign, nag-change ng sign yung dalawang terms natin. From negative becomes positive, from positive naging negative. And we can now observe that the common factors sa numerator and denominator. So we have negative 1 over square root of 3 minus x plus 1. And then by theorem 3.4 and 3.3, we have now evaluate natin at 2. Kaya meron tayong line na to. Square root of 3 minus 2 to square root of 1. Square root of 1 is positive 1, is 1. I-disregard muna natin yung negative. Square root of 1 is 1 plus 1, which give us 2. And take note, may negative pa tayo sa labas. Huwag natin kalimutan yung negative sign dito. So 1, our final solution or our limit would be negative 1. Negative 1. Kung may question kayo, magtanong lang kayo. Verify ulit natin. Let's verify. X is approaching 2 na. And our limit is negative 1/2. Copy lang natin. 1. Yun. X is approaching 2. Yellow. X is approaching 2. Pakita lang natin si 2 din. As X approaching 2 from the left side, Y is approaching negative 0.5. Okay, 0.5, which is negative 1/2. From the left side or from the right side, we have negative 1/2. Ayan. Any question? Any question?
Ako, sir.
Yes.
Sa
Question.
ano lang, sir, yung conjugation. Yung nakakalito. Yung conjugation, sir.
What about conjugation?
Bali, gagawan mo lang siya ng kabaliktaran niya, sir. Tapos i-multiply mo sila.
Yeah.
Sa sarili
Basically,
niya.
ganun lang. Papalitan mo lang yung operation. Kapag positive, gawin mong negative. Same terms lang. Or kapag plus, gawin mong minus. Kapag minus, gawin mong plus. Ganun yung conjugation.
Okay, sir.
I think let's have our break first. Nag-break muna tayo before tayo mag-put sa one-sided limits. 2:42 sa aking orasan, or 43. Be back at 3 p.m. Okay lang ba yun? Hello, may kausap pa ako.
Yes, sir.
So, break. Resume time.
Sir.
If you have question, pwede nyong i-post dun sa chat box natin. Resume time natin is 3. 3. Okay. Yung mga nakadata, you may leave the Zoom first to conserve your data. So, i-sync nyo yung orasan natin, synchronize natin. 2:43 sa orasan ko, be back at 3 p.m. Game. Hello. Yan na tayo. Game na ulit. Ngayon, mabilis na lang naman na to. Hello. Lahat ang tao, naka-break pa kayo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
O, nasaan na yung iba? Sina bumalik. So, one-sided limits. From the title itself, no, you have to consider both sides of your input x. The definition of the limit is the limit of f of x as x approaches a is equal to L. Means that we let x approach a from left as well as from the right. Denote the two possible approaches to a. We use the symbol x approaching a superscript minus superscript for x approaching a from the left, and the symbol x as x approaches a superscript plus naman, or a plus for x approaching a from the right. So you have to consider now a minus and a plus from the left and from the right. Now, existence of a limit theorem. If f is a function and a and L are real numbers, then the limit of f of x as x approaches a is equal to L if and only if and only if the limit of f of x as x approaches a from the right is equivalent to the limit. At the same time, equivalent din siya dun sa limit of f of x as x approaches from the left side of a. If these three are equivalent, then the limit exists. Pero kapag may isa lang na mali sa kanila, non-existing na yung limit natin. So let's have examples for this. 3.9. Ay, obvious naman na to. So f of x is equal to x squared plus 3. Find the following limits. So left side of 1, right side of 1, and then hanapin natin yung limit as x approaches 1. So we have 3 now. Observe natin. One-sided limits of functions can be computed by direct substitution na. So bali, one solution would give us the result of these 3 unknowns. 3 unknowns. A, on the left side of 1, as x approaches 1 to the left side, our function approaches 4, or the limit is 4. And then similarly, from the right side naman, the limit is 4 din. And by our theorem 3.3 kanina, by evaluating, since f of x approaches the same limit from the left and from the right, we conclude that the limit of f of x as x approaches 1 is 4. So, ibig sabihin, existing yung limit nito. And very obvious naman siya. We have a polynomial function. Nag-exist talaga. For any polynomial to, no, existing yung limit nila at a specific value of x or input x. Okay, that's one. Let g of x is equal to 2x minus 3. Find the following limits. From the right side of 1/2, from the left side of 1/2, and as x approaches. Tignan natin. We'll just try to solve this now without showing the solution first. By evaluating the given function at 1/2, this gives us 2 times 1/2 Now, 2 times 1/2 is 1. 2 times 1/2 is 1, or 2 over 2 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Ibig sabihin, if x is 1/2, g of x is 0. So the limit is 0. Wala tayong problema if sa right side ni 1/2. No? Kapag sa right side ni 1/2, let's say, kuha tayo ng mas malaki sa kanya. Let's say 1. No? Right side ni 1/2 is 1. If x is 1, this is 2 times 3. 2 times 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. Wala tayong problema doon. Pero magkakaproblema tayo sa left side ni negative. Left side ni 1/2. Let's say 0. Okay. Let's say x is 0. If x is 0, 2 times 0 is 0. And then we have here negative. Take note, for any radicals whose index is even, iniiwasan natin na maging negative yung radical natin. Ibig sabihin, this is not possible. Therefore, the right side and the left side of 1/2 are not equivalent. Kasi existing yung right side, non-existing yung left side. This is one example na non-existence yung ating limit. So, those 1/2 is 0. Yeah. If less than 1/2 naman, does not exist. Hence, the limit of g of x as x approaches 1/2 does not exist yet. Dapat equivalent yung both sides. Ayun. Diba? Tapos na agad. Dalawang problem. Any question? Dapat pala din na tayo nag-break. Pinapos pala natin kanina na. Question? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So, discuss na lang natin yung inyong exercise. Evaluate the limits. Yes. There is a question. Yes? Sino yung nagsalita? Casey.
Yung sa 3.9a at saka 3.9.
3.9.
Para saan po yung plus at saka yung minus doon?
3.9. Ito. A and B. Ba? Yung plus tsaka minus dito?
Yung, opo, yan po yung, opo. Para po kasi hindi man po sila, wala man pong pinagkaiba.
Yeah, wala talagang pinagkaiba sila.
Para
One-sided yung limit natin dito, no? Explain ko ulit yung one-sided limit. Kapag minus, ibig sabihin, the function, or kapag minus yung superscript natin, our input is approaching a specific value, let's say 1, from the left side. Kapag minus. Kapag positive naman, from the right side. So, if polynomial lang yung given natin, it doesn't affect talaga kung whether sa left side, sa right side. Pareho lang yung makukuha natin limit. Kapag polynomial. For any polynomial yon. No?
Okay.
So we're just, all you have to do is to evaluate the given function at our input x. Whatever side, yung titignan natin from the left or from the right. Negative or positive superscript natin. Magkakaroon lang ng sense yung positive, negative na to if we have, for example, the radical function. So, if we observe that when our given function is radical, there were times, not often, no, or not always, there were times na if we observe the left side and the right side of our input, makikita natin na magkaiba yung limit niya. Yung limit nila. Yung isa existing, yung isa non-existing. Okay? So in that case, the limit of the given function as x approaches our input also it does not exist. Yun ang ibig sabihin. Okay. So here's my reference. This your module number 3 was already I already posted this, no? During the dry run pa lang, kaya hindi na ako nag-send ng bago. So, evaluate the following limits. Apply nyo lang yung mga properties or yung isang property lang, the theorem 3.3 evaluation, evaluating. And, nagay ba ako ng one-sided? Ayun. Although, may one-sided ako nilagay, no? So, from the right, ito from the left, from the right, and from the... Tignan nyo na lang kung may sense yung left or right. Any question? Medyo maaga tayo kasi hindi tayo nag-check ng module exercise 2 natin. Dahil sa 2 or 3. Sean, Raven, nagpasa na kayo?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Next week tayo mag-check, no? Last meeting natin next week. Tapos, bukas walang klase, no? Oh.
Last meeting po natin next week.
Ayan, alay has been slain, ha? Sean, ha?
Sino yun, ha?
Sean.
Well, ha?
Sean.
Laro yung kuya ko, sir.
Kuya. Akala ko ba wala ka sa bahay nyo?
Hindi, sir. Nandito yung kuya ko sa tito ko.
Naki-wifi.
Birthday kapon.
Picture tayo, picture. May oras, picture tayo.
Sorry po.
Wala pa man din akong damit.
Pero, okay na yan. Let me stop the recording.